What's up, guys, and welcome to another exciting episode of Beginner's Guide for the Cities Skyline game. If you didn't watch the past episode, I'm sure you might have missed a lot. So I'll leave the link in the description section, and then you can double check on what we discussed in the previous episode. We gave three clues on how, as a beginner, you can manage your little resources and then build that small town to make it more industrious and also a wealthy city or town, you know. And so we've started, and as I mentioned, it's all about managing your resources. This is a very interesting game for people who like to have managerial positions, who like to manage the little resources they have. And it's very important that you understand what is needed, what is actually good for your city, your town. But in this episode, I'm going to share one key thing with you, which a lot of people miss out when they are playing this city skyline game, right? So as we continue, you capture that particular trick or tip, and then you can apply it once you get your hands on this game. So when you look at my town now, I'm just trying to run more pipelines, do build more pumps, sewage systems, because the town is growing. My population just increasing. I'm getting people coming in the town, and I need to make sure I manage those little resources. One thing I like to do is always to make sure that my income does not go below my expenses. As a country manager, as a manager, or even a president, you need to run your country in such a way that you don't need to go for loans, you don't need to have a lot of expenditure. So I try to manage this. So the key tip that I'll give you in this game is when your population start increasing and you get into the thousands, it's important to increase your tax rates. But how do you increase your tax rate? You don't need to go above certain percentage. Once you do that, you deter people coming in the country or you deter people coming in the town, and your population doesn't grow. They see that your housing is expensive, the tax is expensive, and everything begins to fall apart. So I always advise beginners, once you get to the thousands, where your populations are within the thousand, your tax should be increased at least a little bit. So let's watch as I continue to manage my upkeep and then see. So we made it. Our population has gone up, and this is where you have to look at the task components. But let's look at all the little infrastructure that I put here to make the citizen happy, to make them feel safe, and also make more people come in the town and then the country or the city. I always want to call it country, but whichever way you want to call it, that's up to you. So when you are building more routes, you need to do good planning. Spatial planning is very important. You don't want to construct routes where in the future you can't do a lot of things, and that is something a lot of people miss out on. And as part of the managerial of resources, you realize that the population has increased the demand for electricity, and you can't build more turbines because the cost of turbine is about 6,000, and building a coal plant is about 19,000. So the cost benefit analysis, you look at the resources, the money you have, and see what works very well for the country. So I put up a coal plant to supply my town good electricity, high consumption, but I need to manage the consumption against the production. So let's keep watching, and then I'll come back to you on that tax rate aspect so that you will let people enjoy their stay in the town. You don't push them away with high taxes, and also consider your spatial plan. So as soon as you realize that your population has increased, you realize a lot of people will be demanding for a lot of things you will spend, and that is where you see me increasing my tax rate by 1% for residential and commercial. I'll give you a reason why I didn't include that of in the industries. When you look at the entire small town, you realize that the side of industry is very small. Okay, and there are certain policies that you want to apply later in the future to make sure that your industries grow bigger, they get better. Once you start increasing the tax rates, they are not able to produce enough goods, they are not able to move production to a certain level, and all the companies may want to leave, and your citizens will not get jobs, so they also want to leave. So any decision you take has a long effect. There's that trickle effect on your town or your city, and that is why I didn't touch the tax rate or the tax components of that the industries, but already looked at residential and the commercial. And another reason is also the demand. Once there is that demand for residential place, you have the right to increase it. In a way, you tend to regulate it. Prevent a lot of people from rushing into the town or city, and also that revenue that you gain from increasing the taxes for residents and then the commercial zones will be able to cover for your expenses. So, as part of the tip or trick that I always apply is ensuring that you don't increase your tax rates over 2%, at least a percentage. And that percentage may seem insignificant, but the marginal revenue that comes is high, and you need to make very good use of it. So keep watching the game. Enjoy how I quickly move the country or my city from 1,000 to 2,000, and how everybody in the city is enjoying. They get a little resources, the infrastructures are coming, and I'm sure once you keep subscribing to our channel, you would come back to realize that this small city in the next few weeks be a much bigger city, as you can see from here. So if you're a beginner, this channel is for you. You are going to learn a lot of tips. That is if you enjoy this particular game. And in another video, I'll show you how to download this game on PC. I'm sure if you have a console, you already know how to do this. And then we can come back to enjoy the game thereafter. So keep subscribing, keep liking, keep sharing, and we all get to learn from each other. So if you have any tips, don't forget to comment down below. If you have any questions, don't forget to comment down below. So let's watch the video and see how the city is being built to become one of the wealthiest cities. So in the first episode, I made mention to you the need to have a better planning, and that includes the rules. And this is why I left that space blank, because the construction for those roads will not be two-lane roads but double-lane roads. Is to make sure that that road that gets into your city or town can easily be expanded, or would have more lanes for people to be able to travel. Because once your population grows to about 20,000, you see serious traffic jam there. Trust me, you see serious traffic jam, and you would have to move people from the roadside and reposition them, and that costs you a lot of money. You lose taxes, the citizens become unhappy. So, living space when building is very important. You have to think about the future. In the next few months, what am I doing? Am I going to leave this space blank for future infrastructure? And that is what I decided to do. And trust me, it works. I played this game with a couple of my friends, and they almost try to apply all these things as well. So, as a beginner, don't be afraid to leave spaces. Don't be afraid to construct small rooms at the beginning. Yes, and it will save you a lot of money. It will save you a lot of um, infrastructure damages. So this is it. Let's keep watching and see how we move the town, the city to become something bigger. My very next episode, we are going to talk about some of the reasons why your citizen gets sick and yet they are not able to heal. Or when you look at the healthcare percentage, you have an average of like 50, 40, and you see more citizens getting sick, but you don't seem to able to manage it or control it. So if you want to get that tip or reasons, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And then in our next episode, we'll share that with you. So keep enjoying the video and don't forget to give us a thumbs up.